Hey everybody, welcome to the Boss Cave. I am the boss, and with me today I have the Green, the Goblin, the Chad. And Marsh can't find a simple link.
Okay, you know what? You know what? Fuck you. Okay, you could do this shit because this is your podcast. So you know what? Fuck
It's
you.
our podcast, first of all.
Okay, it could be our
Yeah,
podcast.
when it comes to pay, then it's your podcast.
I still have yet to get Chad.
I'm kidding.
You don't have a PayPal that I can give it to, and I've been
That's what
trying
I'm
to
saying.
think about how to divide up the money.
Hey, buddy, I'm kidding. It's a joke.
But
You know that thing you do?
Hey YouTube, subscribe so Boss can make money off you too. I just can't wait till the Boss Cave chat room is just filled with people that are spamming that hi YouTube and then like the 30 different different emotes that they do. But anyways, so what's new with you guys before we get into the old topics in the news tonight?
Well, you know.
Marsh,
There's
tell
just
us
a few things.
Tell us about that
You
alien.
know, Marsh, you go first. You got a good story.
Tell us about the alien girl that you were saying.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a girl in my history class. For starters, I'm a senior, but the thing is that like I'm in an all sophomore class for history because you know high school sucks. But mostly what happened was that one day I was like, if I can remember, I was talking about how much I liked aliens, and immediately she tried to say, you know, aliens aren't real. And I looked over to her as quick as I could, and I said, so you believe that we are the only living things in this fucking, like, in this whole fucking galaxy, huh? And she was just like, yeah, I believe that we are. And it came to a point that my teacher even like confirmed that there are, that there would be other life somewhere, but just not to come and visit one day, unless they were like predators. And immediately this girl took a deep breath and looked over to me with a smug ass face and said, well, I guess aliens could come over and they may be existing, but you're gonna die from one. You're gonna be eaten, and you wouldn't want that. And I looked at her so offended, and I said, well, you know what? I would be okay with being killed by an alien. I would be okay with being eaten by one. You wanna know why? Because it's an alien. You don't know my life. And the whole time, she kept going to a point that I grabbed my sketchbook and drew stuff where it was like, I love aliens. I would let an alien fuck my ass, so on, so on.
Same, dude.
And it went to a point that, like,
you ever seen Star Trek? That whole show's about fucking aliens.
Yeah, but those are the attractive ones, though.
Yeah, they're the pussy aliens.
Yeah.
In both literal sense of the word.
If you ain't got those claws and fangs, I don't need you.
If you ain't looking like a damn xenomorph, be gone.
You think I won't?
If you ain't looking like the fucking predator, then get your ass out of here.
I mean,
if you don't look like
at
a
a predator's mouth,
if you don't look like an orc from 40K,
oh.
If you look like
if you don't believe in yourself strong enough to where you defy the laws of physics, get out of here.
Alright, if you look like an orc from 40K, you need some serious help, because orcs from 40K are the buffest, most strong, they're the most overpowered thing in existence, and the only thing that's holding them back is themselves.
But, to continue, that was the first day where, like, I just immediately called her anti-alien girl. And so, the second time was exactly the next day.
We out there. Huh? I said, the truth is, we out there, and I did a squat in my chair.
Cyrus, you're right to be concerned.
And so, like, the next day, immediately, okay, I'm gonna name these girls off because, like, I'm not gonna give their real names, I'm just gonna say whatever pops up in my head. So, anti-alien girl, I'll just call her Casper. A girl in front of me is named Sandra. The girl on my right is Cassie. The girl on my left
What is with these
is
white people
Abigail.
names?
And the last girl
America,
is
boss.
Adriana. Is
Oh,
Adriana. Okay, stop. And so what happened was that one day, like the next day, I mean, Casper had immediately brought up aliens again, and she looked at me smug and said, "You know what? Who else believes in aliens in this group?" And immediately, my friend Adriana kind of rose her hand a bit, and she said, "Oh, I believe in aliens." And then the girl next to me, I think I named her Cassie. She rose her hand as well, like, "Oh, I also believe in them." And then the girl in front of me, Sandra, she kind of just shrugged and said, "I'm kind of middle ground." And Abigail next on my left had just said, "Oh, I don't believe in them." And so these two girls, Abigail and Casper, looked over at Sandra, and they looked at her and they said, "You know what? You should not believe it. You should not believe that aliens exist at all. Come on. You want to know why? Because it's stupid to believe in aliens." And like I kind of looked at Casper like, "Excuse me?"
It's stupid to believe anything falling out of this garbage human's mouth.
And so
What if they're an alien trying really hard to deny aliens exist to keep their cover?
And so the whole time she was like, she kept going to where she, instead of like giving a valid argument, it was more of a sense calling me stupid and saying who else believes in it is stupid, and so on. And so I looked at this girl, I looked at Sandra, and I said, "Listen, believe whatever you want. If you believe, good. If you don't, whatever. It's like politics. No one gives a shit half the time. And the ones who really, really do, that's scary." And so it kind of went to where when I said that, immediately Casper went, "Don't listen to them. They're just trying to be nice when they just want you on their side. You don't want to be believers like them. You want to be like us, who actually think clearly." And immediately she looked over to Cassie.
I
When
feel like this girl's an atheist, but like one of those r slash atheists kind of atheists.
And so when I went back to talking to Cassie, the girl who said she believed next on my right, I was talking to her because not many people talk to her. She's very like kind of quiet, and it's very nice talking to her here and there. Not many can understand her though, because she has a really thick accent. But I could I think I could only understand because I have my grandmother who has an accent, so it's just I fill in the blanks here and there. And so while I was talking to Cassie, Casper looked over to Cassie and said, "You want to know something? You look like an alien." And
Just like, bro.
Cassie blinked, and
The
she's
truth
someone
is,
who
we out there.
And the thing is that like Cassie looked like she almost believed it and looked very self-conscious at the moment. I said, "No, no, 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 don't listen to her. You look amazing, Cassie. You have beautiful eyes. You have a smile that's bright and warm." And like I tried to compliment her as much as I can to make sure that she wouldn't feel upset. And Casper went like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Listen, you don't look like an alien." And it's like I kind of glared over at Casper like, "Dude, even though we don't agree with you, you don't need to call people shit. That is rude." But I didn't say it because I just knew that that wouldn't work out. And then so today, anti-alien person, they came in to the classroom and they had a whole thing of Coca-Cola, like a 2-liter Coca-Cola.
Damn,
And
like a whole
she,
ass
like,
Coca-Cola.
yeah, she placed it down on the table and said, "Hey guys, can you like drink this for me?"
What?
I looked at it and
Don't
I was like,
trust it.
No, no, this girl's an alien.
Cyanide
and I
This
was
with no
like,
girl
happiness.
is an alien.
I looked at it and I was just like, "What?" And she was like, "I need it for my project." And so, like, I don't have cups or anything, so can you, like, chug it? I believe in you. I believe in you. Like, I'm just, she says, she only calls me by my birth name, but I'm gonna just say Marsh. And she was like, "I believe in you, Marsh. You got this. I bet you could chug this down really easy." And
Oh,
I
what's
just
she
kind of,
trying to say?
and I kind of looked at it up and like at her, squinting my eyes, and then luckily, luckily Abigail next to me was like, I don't think so. Hey, what did I name her? Fuck. Hey Sandra, can you like drink this with Marsh? And so luckily Sandra agreed, and we both she used the little top part of her perfume bottle, like she used the little cap to sip it, while I just grabbed the goddamn thing and I chugged like almost half of it, because like it came to a point where I was like, well, I am thirsty, but at the same time I'm gonna feel like shit. And so I grabbed it and I ended up chugging it, and like at first I wasn't like getting only like a few bit there. I slowly lost motivation where I was like, I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna throw up. I feel like throwing up. I feel like crap. I want to cry.
Cyrus is an alien.
Yeah,
Fair.
I believe it.
And it then led to where luckily my friend Adriana, she was like, hey, how about you put on a motivation song? And I was like, what song? And Abigail was like, let's play shots. And I was like, what? And then
shots.
Everybody.
And then Adriana was like, how about Eye of the Tiger?
That song is bumping, though.
So you didn't. So no one put on Hearts on Fire. Lightweight.
Hearts on fire. You better be. You better be.
This is why he's the boss.
And so
Oh, I was singing Night of Fire. Whoops.
Close enough. I
Stupid
appreciate it.
I luckily put on both shots as well as Eye of the Tiger, because we had a sub today.
At the same time.
So we had a substitute teacher. So he personally didn't care that this group
Was good, Fezza.
was chugging a
What's
goddamn
bopping,
like,
Fezza?
a 2-liter soda where two
What's
people were chugging.
bopping?
And then luckily
By
at
the way,
the
Fezza,
end,
you want in on this?
Adriana finished it off, and yeah, that's my story of today.
Amazing story. You met an alien. I'm convinced you met an alien.
Hey, drink this whole 2-liter Coke real quick, fam. I'm sure you can do it.
Let me just
I thought-
vehemently deny all of that alien nonsense.
I'm gonna say you just had a fever dream, Mars.
I felt like utter shit afterwards. Like my tummy hurt. I felt upset. I felt like my soul was out of my body, and I was just like,
It
never
was.
You had a forcible dissociation moment there. So,
Also, sorry to hear that, Fezza.
yeah,
It's
sorry to
cool.
hear that, Fezza.
We love you.
Anyways,
Cyrus about to make the edgy
Getting-
comments and put me out of a job.
that's Chad's job.
Yeah.
Anyways, getting into the news.
God.
So-
Let's get right into the news.
Let's just jump right on. So y'all know what turns 50 this year, right? Actually, a few days ago.
But
Space Odyssey, my dude. 2001.
Oh.
It turns 50 years old,
Wow.
which is really depressing because that movie is so fucking good. Cyrus, Twitch doesn't care what you say in the chat rooms. It only cares if I say it or one of these idiots say it.
Basically.
no, I thought they said there was a new policy that saying you're a Twitch stream.
I'm in charge of my Twitch stream if they go attack somebody, but as long as they're being toxic.
Oh, okay. So as long as they just say stupid stuff in the chat, you're all right.
If they are being toxic towards me, Twitch could give less of a shit. But if somebody is toxic
But if
towards
they
somebody else,
go raid and be like a punk to somebody, then
Yeah.
it's on you.
yes,
So what are you supposed to do about that in that case? If they decide to do that on their own, like.
then you try and backpedal as much as possible and suck Twitch's dick.
Oh.
So, anyways,
That's a raw
Grant,
deal.
Grant, you did say you give the good suck anyways.
Yeah, but Twitch ain't give them no money yet.
Twitch has still yet to provide me with that good old-fashioned dollar
With
redo.
monetary sustenance.
So once they do, are you gonna give them the good suck?
Hey, like I've said, if somebody donates to me, I'm legally obligated to give them the sucky.
Oh
If
man.
I'm traveling down to
okay.
Georgia, I have to do it to Yama.
Oh yeah, you still have to.
Oh,
That was funny.
no.
Oh yeah, no, it's trust me that this fucking picture that I used from Google. I just when I
Oh.
photoshopped it,
You-
when I
that's ridiculous.
photoshopped the shit out of it to try and get the galaxy in the background because I thought it would look nice, I fucked up the curvature on it.
I can't even tell.
Yeah,
I couldn't even tell until you pointed it out.
well yeah.
Sucky, sucky, boom, boom.
But anyways, so we're gonna go to our live reporter in the field. That is also me. Yeah, thank you, boss. Coming live from the boss cave. We would just want to tell you real quick that according to our sources out on the field, aka Naru, who unfortunately does not want to be on the podcast tonight.
Mm.
He
Don't
was
do
he was
him like
telling us
this.
he was telling us that Ready Player One is actually pretty good, and I'm reading through some of the articles for Ready Player One. Apparently, people seem to like it that aren't normies. Like I read a normie news article about it from CNN, and then I read like a Polygon article about it. That's like deep into the neckbeard territory.
Ah.
And then I read a GameSpot one, and I felt like I was gonna have to claw the cancer out of my eyes with a rusty spoon.
Sorry, it's already in your brain.
You're far too gone already.
So, yeah, I for one am surprised, intrigued, and treating this as a Steven Spielberg project and not actually the original book, because
Yeah.
as we all know, the original book is oof.
Oop.
Boy, that one chapter dedicated to talking about the pros of masturbation.
That was
Whoa.
just an oof and a yikes moment and all to it. So basically, I'm just like,
Well, we know who ain't procreating, boys.
all
Ooh.
I can tell you is that if you try, Naru told me basically that if you just ignore the book and say that the movie was made by Steven Spielberg and Steven Spielberg alone, then you can enjoy the movie. And that's what I'm going to do when I eventually do and go watch the movie. It was
I kinda
definitely
wanna watch it now.
advertised as a gamer, quote unquote gamer pandering movie, but at the same time, like, my biggest worry that I've voiced before is that I thought that they were gonna dumb down a lot of the references to fit a mainstream audience, cause that's where I was really like, oh god, it's gonna be one of these neckbeard guys trying to be like, look how cool I am, I know about Gurren Lagann, and then like, meanwhile Steven Spielberg Productions is just like, yeah, we have no fucking clue what they're talking about here, so
We'll just go with what he says.
here's Iron Giant, I guess. What the
With a
fuck?
katana gun.
What the fuck is an Iron Giant? What the fuck is an Iron Giant?
A
Yeah.
pacifist, but apparently not here.
Apparently. So yeah, there's that. Also, in the other news, if you
Fezza,
live,
that reminds me, Steve Buscemi would have been perfect.
he would have been. In other news, in competitive gaming news,
Oh?
Evo
Oh?
has competition.
Really now?
There is a new gaming tournament and conference coming to Cincinnati in 2019.
Really now?
It's called PIVIP, or PIVIP. PIVIP, I believe is how they're pronouncing it right now. It's only in articles right now. But they're getting a tournament known as the brackets. They're having brackets put up. They're going to have something called the Binge-a-thon at this place, where it will be kind of like just a theater that they're going to rent out 2 or 3 theaters.
Theater.
Featuring movies such as Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Rampage, and there's supposedly supposed to be guest appearances by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and also competitive Smash player Hungrybox is apparently tweeting about this, as well as a few other competitive Smash players. Because right now they've said that on this tournament, they're going to have a Smash 4,
Mm-hmm.
Melee,
Uh-huh.
Dragon Ball Fighters.
Absolutely.
What else have they said they're gonna have on this? Okay, so that seems to be what it's announced for right now. That's what's confirmed. And as in terms of what's not confirmed, but is very likely to happen, Street Fighter 5 and Street Fighter Turbo, meaning 2, Tekken, Injustice, and it looks like they're going to hold a smaller non-fighting game tournament for other such competitive games like CSGO and Dota.
Huh, okay.
I can only broadcast at 1080p because whenever I try to broadcast at 720p, my computer monitors are actually 2K, so it'll look like a garbled mess if I ever did that.
Oh.
So there's, I've tried streaming at 720 more, but it just never goes correctly. And for the last bit of news, so Astros, the gaming company that make gaming headsets for gamers, are partnering with Nintendo to make a Switch exclusive line of their A70s wireless headphones. So that way you can communicate in game as well as, sorry, A40s, my bad. You can communicate in game such as Splatoon using their proprietary app that is going to be launching anytime soon now, as well as providing crystal clear, crisp audio that Astro is known for. And the market price for those are going to be between the base one starting at $150 and $250 at the highest end. And so this is some pretty interesting stuff for me and for anybody else that's interested in this stuff. But you'll be able to swap out the magnetic speakers inside the ears. It's a fully customizable headphone. You not only will you be able to switch out the magnetic speakers, but you'll also be able to swap out the headband, microphone pads, microphone, ear pads, and the actual color of the thing. You can put different types of LED colors on it. And they're also talking about a proprietary headset that they're bringing out called codename STEAM, or Steam for short, that is somehow supposedly supposed to be for Switch only, but also be a almost like a competitive headset. You know how they see in those competitive like Overwatch or CSGO tournaments, how they have those big thick headphones that are trying to block out all the noise of the audience and everything. Supposedly, Astros are making those for Nintendo Switch for the upcoming ARMS tournament and the Splatoon 2 Open. So that's all we got for the gaming and pop culture news for today.
Well, there is one piece of news.
One piece of news that Chad's got. Hit us with it, Chad.
So, if you don't know, the Monster Hunter World Spring Festival is finally kicked in online. So, if you actually have it, you might want to go check it out. There's a few good things that come in this. If you know, in fact, I think I'm going to talk about a few things that come with this pack. It's a free update that comes with, you know, a few event quests, an opportunity to earn a new armor or cosmetic set. I forget which it is, but it's an insect themed one. You know, and looks pretty nice, right? As an aside, the handler and other NPCs also get a special Spring Festival costume, as well as the entire hub of the upper and lower portion have been redone, but with like a Spring Festival theme in mind, right?
And you new food.
Yes, you even get like a new meal option in the canteen.
Because I love watching those cutscenes. I went on YouTube and I've watched all those cutscenes. The
ones in the bottom are so much better than the top ones. So with the cats,
yeah,
like the Meowscular chef, he's amazing. I love him.
He's so good.
But yeah, you also get an opportunity to earn a very new weapon. This basically, it's called the Wyvern Ignition. It is basically a slab of steel with a jet in the back of it. It's a great sword, but with like jet engines on the back that, you know, aid in the slings, right? Basically, this thing hits like a grown man with like 8 trucks stapled to him. Don't ask what that means.
So like a Dark Souls weapon.
Worse, but better at the same time. It has high, base attack. It has very little blue sharpness, at least for the first form, and negative 15 affinity, which means whenever you crit, you actually do less damage. But you can easily, get that out of your you can patch out that weakness with a few decorations. But its next form, the Impact, the Wyvern Ignition Impact, comes with a little bit of white sharpness and over 1,000 attack. And those of you who love seeing big numbers, you might want to get on this. Let's see. As an aside, what else was there that was in this pack? See, I'm looking at the armor sets. They're all there. You got a bunch of new event quests and whatnot. So, oh yeah, new emotes, new gestures. Get in there. There's some new good ones you need to check out. Also, there's a Mega Man event for PS4 players only.
Nice.
It's one where you have to fight 2 Odogarons, which is Clifford, the monster. And defeating this, you earn tickets to actually get your Palico, a cosmetic outfit where it's just 8-bit Mega Man running around. They're just 8-bit Mega Man in your world. Get on it if you really want it. Also, the Horizon Zero Dawn event is making a return. I'm not sure if the Ryu one is, but you can try checking that out. But I know for a fact the Horizon Zero Dawn one is making a return, so you can get the Aloy armor or armor set. So yeah, get on it, hunters. Get on it. That's all I got.
Yeah. Thanks, Chad.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chad.
Now back into the booth with Boss. So we got some topics tonight because this is a more
Yes, we
organized
do.
stream
Is it?
other than the last one. So we got some topics tonight. So the topics tonight, and you can continue this discussion in the chat if you'd like. The topics are nostalgic classic cartoon add-ons that were not the cartoons themselves, like bumpers, advertisements, other merchandise that you miss that just doesn't seem to be around anymore with modern cartoons. And the second topic is internet culture that you miss. Now for me, what brought on this topic, what made me think about it was I showed Chad and Marsh and all the boys in the private chat that those old like bumpers for Cartoon Network shows like Ed, Edd n Eddy, Powerpuff Girls that were played to music and shit. And like it was licensed music. It was like music from people like Bowling for Soup and
Well, I am.
Will I Am. And it was really, really good. They were well animated. They had a different style from the stuff.
They just actually had style.
And like I missed those type of bumpers on Cartoon Network and stuff. And cause like they would have the air about them to be like very different from the actual show itself. So when you watch them, it was so it got you interested in the show. If you hadn't seen the show itself, you would watch the bumper and be like, dang, what is that? I want to go find that show. And it would be like the next thing played on Cartoon Network. The same thing like Disney Channel used to do those type bumpers where they'd have their animated cast come out and like interact with the real life casts. And I thought those were cool.
Yeah.
But they got rid of that.
It was pretty cute and amazing.
Yeah.
Disney, come back. We miss you.
And yeah, Disney, stop being a
Even
soulless...
Squidward misses you.
Stop being a soulless fucking company and buying up all of our childhood dreams and memories.
Unless you're gonna do something good with
Unless
them,
you're gonna
then
make a
I'll allow
movie
it.
about them, I don't care.
Like, make something in a rival Ready Player One, but with all the animated stuff you bought. Do it right now. Make the next Who Framed Roger Rabbit right now.
That's another thing I miss. You don't see a lot of integration, like 2D animation, traditional animation, and like modernized people anymore. Like the last movie that I've seen that had a cartoon in it was Looney Tunes Back in Action, which is a fantastic movie, by the way.
Absolutely.
It's the only thing Brendan Fraser has done other than The Mummy, and it's a good movie. But I love that one scene where it's like the Walmart in the middle of the desert, and they're like, "Who would just put down product placement at the most inconvenient time, and then Walmart was there, and then Bugs and Daffy walk in. And you're like, do you think they're our sponsors? It's such a meta concept. Also, the Area
Yeah.
51 with all the old like Warner Brothers produced movies that were like the Daleks and like They Came from Outer Space and all these different old IPs that were awesome and stuff. I miss kind of that stuff, especially like Adult Swim. Like Adult Swim has amazing bumpers. They've always had amazing bumpers. But
They're pretty quality. I mean, you can't fight them.
like you remember there's the one where they just steal AMVs from online and just play them?
Yeah.
That
It's
was
great, ain't
fucking
it?
great. Do you guys remember? All right, well Chad probably remembers. Marsh is a little bit too young to remember this. But hi Matt.
Okay.
Howdy, Meg.
Do you remember the old Cowboy Bebop promos that we'd have every now and again?
Yeah.
The ones where they'd have like the jazz music and the soft rain and the pitter patter in the background, and then it would just be like a long, slow shot of Spike's outline. Those were the fucking shit, dude.
They really were.
That's why I mean honestly, there's a reason why I stayed up after my bedtime so I could watch
pretty
fucking
much
Toonami.
every
And it
kid
was-
did it. If you didn't, you're lying.
It wasn't so I could watch Family Guy. It wasn't so I could watch Hank Hill. It was so I could watch fucking Spike Spiegel and
Cowboy
Toonami.
Bebop.
Toonami, I miss Toonami. Everybody
Yeah,
does.
well, it's back technically.
Well, it doesn't have the same spirit.
It's not the same, but at least it's somewhat back. Hey, can we get Tenchi Muyo back? Is that a
yeah,
thing?
let's get Tenji Muo. Well, fuck it, let's get Bobobo back on the air.
Yeah.
Can we get that uncanceled?
Well, maybe if you share your energy with the monkey.
Alright, here's what I'm gonna do. Everybody, we gotta throw our arms up in the air, and we gotta start screaming utter nonsense, and maybe
No, throw your
Bobobo.
nose hairs in the
Yeah,
air,
throw your
nerd.
nose hairs in the air, and then maybe we'll charge up enough energy to get Bobobo back on the air. But it just seems
Yeah.
that like, in terms of animation blocks, late night animation blocks, what do you have to offer? That if you're not Adult Swim, because Adult Swim's knocking it out the ballpark with every single animated classic that's ever been for adult TV. And that's including animes, because they had stuff like Cowboy Bebop, they had fucking One Piece, the good One Piece, not the shitty 4Kids one. The one with all the blood and violence. And
When
shit.
they actually use the proper intros.
Yeah. They had stuff like Inuyasha, Bobo, obviously, and other stuff like that. It was just such a fucking amazing time to be alive when you could turn on your TV at like 10 o'clock at night and you could watch a full episode of Full Alchemist Brotherhood, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood,
Yeah.
the better one. What do you
It
guys
follows
miss?
closer to the manga. We love it.
What do you miss, Chad?
You know what I miss?
Mm-hmm.
Things that I miss, boy, I can go on for hours, but I'll try to keep this brief. I just straight up miss that one magical moment. We all remember it as kids. We don't remember the date, but we remember the day it happened. When you would wake up on like during a weekday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing you saw was this weird bumper for Cartoon Network, where it's just like the characters walking around.
Cartoon City. Oh my god, I
That's
remember
what
that.
I'm saying.
Oh
The
my
first
god.
moment I saw that, I was like, turbo nut incoming.
Yo, Cartoon City was such a fucking good thing.
It was lit. You could have just made a show about that.
I just
You
wanted.
cut-
You remember the one where it was Samurai Jack going to like a
And the laundromat?
and Johnny
With
Bravo?
Bravo.
That shit was so fucking hype when you saw
Yo,
those
Aku
two.
trying to get the kids discount at the movie theater.
That was so good. Remember the one where it was the Powerpuffs and they like invaded Dexter's lab and Dexter was just like, at least they're not Dee Dee or something like that. That was so good.
Bruh. Gosh. And then like, God, what else? Like, as far as internet culture, what do I miss from old internet culture?
Newgrounds.
Certainly not the rage. They're on life support. It's fine.
Look,
It's fine.
the heyday of Newgrounds, like 2003
Yeah, back in
2005
its prime.
to 2000,
When it
maybe
was
like
just a young buck
2009.
getting out there stretching its legs.
That was the shit. When you could
What
see
killed it? Oh,
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube killed it.
Yeah.
I remember.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, like, that's where I got my start into like a lot of things like online. Of like, okay, sprite animation. That's when I first became a fan of it. Like, Newgrounds put that on the map as far as my team, right? Another thing would have been, gosh, just I don't know. I guess ever since being there, it kind of made me want to actually do something. Like, actually, make a project, which I'm in the current process of doing, and I can't share any details, but,
Yeah.
Top
it was
secret.
inspiring. See a bunch of
Yeah.
people sharing their stuff, pouring their heart out online, these animations they were doing, or games they were making. It was kind of cool.
I miss going on old forums that would just be like for Pokemon or something, and just
Oh, yeah,
getting
dude.
yelled at for being like 5 on this Pokemon forum. I would go in and
Pokemon.
I'd be like,
5.
yo,
What are you even doing?
this is my team lineup, and I'd be like Blaziken, Suicune, and then like 5 other Pokemon, and then it would be
You should
like,
have told him your uncle owned Nintendo.
oh, that was rampant back then. I never believed them for a moment, even when I was like 6 or 7. And like,
Hey, man.
I
My
would
uncle owns Game Boy. He can ban you right now.
I would see all this stuff about like, oh, that's a shitty team. You'll never be able to beat the Elite Four with it, and I'll be like, I'm beating the
Watch
Elite
me.
Four. And like those were the best. Those were the best days, really. Do you remember the Digimon movie?
Oh my gosh! Don't bring me back. Don't do it to me.
So I'm gonna tell a funny story about the Digimon movie.
Tell us a funny story about it.
So the Digimon movie was a masterpiece. I don't care what you guys say about it. The Digimon
Who says
movie
it wasn't?
was a masterpiece. A lot of people.
They're wrong.
It was so fucking good. I don't care if it was an amalgamation of 3 separate movies that were pieced together to make one movie. It was a hype ass movie.
From start to finish, dude.
Like, Summer Wars is literally Digimon movie, but with no Digimon. Yeah. Except
Pretty
there's
much.
kind of Digimon in that movie.
It's like
maybe.
Only on weekends.
It's a sort of Digimon. Oh, there is a reference to Digimon in that movie though.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't make that kind of movie without doing it.
So,
It would be criminal.
let me tell you about a story. So, Blockbuster. Y'all remember that shit, right?
Oh, I
we
missed
had-
that. Can we talk about that?
We had a local Blockbuster chain right next to me. Like, maybe a mile away from my house. And nearly every weekend, we would go down once we came home from school and we'd rent a movie. And, they kept rearranging that store. They had renovation going on every single year that it was open. And they kept
Yeah.
rearranging it. So every year they'd switch the animation department. So I would go over and I'd rent like the Dragon Ball movies and like the Pokemon movies, and then the Digimon movie was always on the
Mhm.
shelf. And every time they moved the animation section, I thought that they had a new Digimon movie out. And I would rent the movie and come to find out it's the same damn movie I've rented like 6 or 7 times now.
I'm sorry for you, buddy.
I didn't care though. I love that. I must have watched that Digimon movie 18
Yeah.
times. 18 or 19 times when I was a kid. In 1 year. But I love that movie. It was so good. What other movie can you think of that has
Okay.
the starstruck lineup of Bowling for Soup, what's that? It's been 1 week since you looked at me. I can't remember that. That's not Bowling for
But
Soup.
we know what you're talking about, though.
Bowling for Soup, that, Weezer, and like a bit of Green Day. Sonic Unleashed? Yeah, you're right.
That never happened, though. I'm kidding. It happened. It was a
Sonic
good
was
game.
never
Don't
good.
let anyone ever. You're right, but at the same time, shut up.
But like I don't know what it is about growing up that just makes it so
It
hard.
makes you miss the old stuff, dude.
It makes it so hard to enjoy new things. Cause I do in fact love enjoying new animation that comes out.
Looks at OKKO's like that's more.
Why
That's
would
way
you say
more
something
than
so
okay.
controversial yet so brave? Like,
How is that controversial?
think about the tone of the Digimon movie and like the first 3 Pokemon movies.
Remember how dark it was?
Like, the Digimon movie had this sunny floral pattern. Like, do you remember that one scene where they're riding on the back of, I think it's Renamon in his like wolf form, and they're just riding through the countryside.
Garurumon.
Garurumon, thank you. Yeah, they're just riding through the back of the countryside, and they have a simple plan playing in the background. Like, that shit has such an aesthetic to it that I miss. It has that,
That is
like,
my aesthetic.
it has that like lazy summer day that I love. Also, another thing I miss, Fooly Cooly. It's getting a 2nd season. I watched the first episode. Holy fucking shit, is it good?
I didn't even get a chance to.
Holy
like,
shit.
It's really good.
Oh my god, they nailed the feeling of the original Fooly Cooly. When I talk about like a lazy summer afternoon in a small town, I think of Fooly Cooly. The first
Yeah.
13 episodes of Fooly Cooly. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Fooly Cooly's a masterpiece. But the next one that they have,
Absolutely.
this new season that they have, oh my god, it's so fucking good. It reminds me, like, the cinematography of it reminds me of a Miyazaki movie. It's animated like a fucking Ghibli movie. Oh, it's so good. That's
Let's
another
hope
thing I
that budget
miss.
stays up, but you know it's gonna stay up.
That's
you know it is.
That's another thing I miss. Ghibli movies.
Yeah.
Like, Nazca in the Valley of the Wind, Spirited Away, My Neighbor
Howl's
Totoro,
Moving
Howl's Moving
Castle.
Castle. I could go on and on and on. Every single one of those movies has the same theme, but
Kiki's Delivery
damn.
Service.
But
Let's
damn
talk
if it's
more.
not fucking good. Like, when's the last time you've seen an anime movie in theaters?
When, I asked you.
When? When's the last time? It doesn't happen anymore.
Nobody likes anime was never good, Graham.
Yeah, anime was never good. No, I mean an anime movie, Fezza, not an animated movie. Like, when's the last time you've seen a Ghibli movie in theaters? Never. You haven't seen him for fucking like since 2007.
Man, I miss Ponyo.
The only movie that I think has been in theaters, American theaters, that is an anime movie in the past like 10 years was Your Name. And other than that, I don't think there's anything that's been out in the past 10 years that's been in other than a Ghibli movie. But I think Poyo was the last Ghibli movie that was in theaters.
Yeah.
Um,
Wait, Pokemon Black and White movie was in theaters and no one told me?
wait, what?
No one told me?
What? A Pokemon?
Tesla, you will not on me?
I thought Pokemon movies always just went straight to DVD.
Hey, man.
Or
if
did they
anyone
show
of
them on
deserved-
Cartoon Network?
If anyone of them deserved to be in theaters, it was the first one. Like, that one, I will say to this day, that was the first movie that made me cry. I will say
cry
I will say that without
when
shame.
Ash jumped in front of that laser beam or lightning bolt or whatever the fuck it was for Pikachu.
Those two, like, shadow balls or whatever.
When you see that shit, and
that wrecks you. That
when
ruined you as a kid.
when Pikachu just stands over fucking Ash, just like, what the hell did I just do? I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it.
Slapping another Pikachu and crying while slapping the Pikachu because it knows what it's doing is wrong.
There
That's a
is
movie.
more emotion in that tiny yellow rat than I've seen out of all the fucking Twilight movies.
That's not hard to do. There's no emotion in that period.
That's true.
Like, that's a terrible comparison. That's like comparing how strong a grown man is to a stillborn. Ooh, let's reel that back. Newborn baby.
There you go.
Twitch cops, don't come after me.
But another things that I miss about like anime and like the whole 2000s 1999 aesthetics,
That aesthetic.
where like just that soft, calming tone that it had, like Ed, Ed and Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
It had such
And you know what's so good about Ed, Ed and Eddie?
the tone.
It's quite literally timeless.
Yeah.
They put no references into like super modern stuff to where like so anyone can like apply to it. Like
Kids
anyone can sit down and be
will
like,
be
I
kids
understand that.
forever. Kids will be kids forever. That's the type of deal
That's
with
the
Ed, Ed and
thing.
Eddie. Like, yeah, no matter who you are as a kid, you've done something stupid. You've rolled around with your boys, unless you were a shut-in. You've rolled around
But you
with,
still did something stupid.
but you've done something stupid as a kid that you look back on now and think, yeah, I was being an idiot, but you laugh at it. And that's what I feel like. If Ed, Ed and Eddie was a story that they told to their kids, which that one episode that they did. They actually did that episode where it was like Eddie, all the Eds are really old, and they're telling stories
They're
to
having
their kids.
flashbacks.
And they're having flashbacks and shit, and that's what my interpretation of the
Back
actual
in
show
my
is.
day in Vietnam. That's the Ed, Ed and Eddie I remember.
But it was just, it makes you feel nostalgic, even if you've never ever, even if you didn't grow up with the show, it made you feel nostalgic for younger days. And that might just be the old man in me talking, but at the same time, I figured this out when I was a kid. Like Ed, Ed and Eddie, I wasn't allowed to watch it all that often because they said dork in it.
Okay, you want to hear my reason? You want to hear the reason why I was not allowed?
My parents are very stupid, but yeah.
So, bruh, the only thing that was a turn off, the only thing that made my mother hate that cartoon was because those characters, like, tongues were, like, weirdly colored. It's because, like, yeah, I know, it's dumb. I was like, it's a stylistic choice. Me, as a little babby, could point out, but, Mom, that's a stylistic choice. Like,
Mom, that's a
come
conscientious
on.
choice by both the animators and the showrunners in order to distinguish it from other Cartoon Network shows and make it feel its own unique style and presence.
Exactly.
Bitch.
It's just like, yeah, no, they don't take care of the team.
But
They're bad role models. I don't watch them for them being role models. I'm terrible.
Honestly, Rolf was a mood. Rolf is an eternal mood.
Rolf is the roast king.
Yeah.
Your garden is overgrown and your cucumbers are soft.
Damn.
How do you come back from that?
You don't.
How do you come back?
How do you combat that? You don't.
You just can't.
You sit there and you take that belt.
You take that L.
You
and
take
then the hat of shame.
And then the hat of shame. Like, it's just... Ed, Ed and Eddie was such a good show, especially, like, with Samurai Jack coming on right after it. You had this, like, lighthearted TV show that was so filled with, like, pranks and gags, and the slapstick was hilarious, and especially...
And then robot gore!
And then you had Samurai Jack that came on, and you had two choices with Samurai Jack. You had two options. You had the one peaceful episode that would always come on, where it'd be like Jack walking through a tranquil forest, no noise, no sound, just him and like nature around him, and you felt at ease. And then a bunch of robots come out and attack, and he fucking slaughters them all. Or you had the show starts with him attacking robots and slaughtering them all, and then going to peaceful for the rest of the episode, and there was no in between.
That was the script.
That was the whole show.
That was the storyboard.
That
right
was
there.
the whole show. There would always be... I don't think there's one episode of Samurai Jack that I can remember that had no fighting in it. Also, the rave episode, iconic.
That rave episode is a mood.
The baby episode, iconic.
Remember that time Jack could just hide in light?
Yeah.
Want to talk about that?
That was...
That's hype.
Like...
How do you fight something that can hide in light?
I don't think one of the biggest problems I see nowadays with modern animation is that they don't care. I've said this before. People don't
there's
care
people we can
anymore.
call out, and maybe it will be a bad idea, but no, I'm not.
No, call them out. Call these motherfuckers out.
Look, as much as I wanted to enjoy it, I still got to throw them under the bus. They haven't improved. I've taken a break from it. I came back to it, Steven Universe.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't improved, man.
Mm-hmm.
Not even just the animation. It's just like there's tonal dissonance in that show. It's just like, hey, we're beating the Crystal Jesus good guys, but like as these greater than good guys, but they're all terrible. Like
The show, I think the problem...
we're just...
I think that show could have worked if it was on Adult Swim.
But still though, that tonal dissonance, and it's not on purpose. You know it's not on purpose. It feels like accidental tonal dissonance.
When you watch through Steven Universe back-to-back episodes, when you binge watch it, there's totally a fucking just lack of consistency from the characters. Because in some episodes, Pearl will be like this naggy, kind of almost
Neurotic.
I was about to say, yeah, woman who's tries to act more middle-aged than she is, you know, Amethyst, who acts more like a teenager or late 20s or early 20s. And then you have Garnet, who either says nothing the whole episode, or has, you know, this prophetic speaking line in the whole episode, which is mellowed out and washed out by the end because she's either gone back on her statement or the show itself has proven her wrong. Now, I can appreciate the fact that they're trying to get around their huge disadvantage being Teen Titans Go. And Teen Titans Go, maybe we'll save for an entirely different podcast because that's a whole another bag of fleas.
Yeah, but that's a dead horse at this point.
It really is. I think there's 3 episodes that are actually funny. But I don't know.
Fezza, that's a good point. 1,000 episodes of Beach City and then 1 plot episode and back to the 1,001, you know, filler episodes is...
You know what would have made Steven Universe better? If it was taken from the perspective of a lazy summer afternoon adventure type of series. Like how Ed and Nettie was taken. Like I was saying. Because it has that scene, it has that tone where it could drive, it has the props there. A city on the beach where this kid and his superpowered guardians are spending their whole time and effort, you know, just enjoying the weather and fighting aliens. You had an ability to build up story. You had an ability to build up characters, real people in this town. You had so much potential to do something with it that it's lacking. There's
one thing. Meg makes a point. Executives are, you know, they do have their entire hand in the pie and they control which direction it goes and what flavor it is.
Absolutely correct. What happened to the days of making a good cartoon to make money instead of making a cartoon to make money and also be good?
Wait, what?
Because, alright, think about it. Back in the old days, PPG, what else? Grim Adventures, all these different shows, Ed and Eddie, like Samurai Jack, all these old shows were fantastic, and they made money. Even original Ben 10 was fantastic and made money.
This is a fact.
But the problem nowadays is that the business model for Cartoon Network, and Nickelodeon especially, has switched from make a good cartoon that will make money. Because if you make a good cartoon, the money will follow it, to make a cartoon that will make money and then try to make that cartoon good.
Absolutely.
The only good shows I can say that are unequivocally good on Cartoon Network anymore are Gumball, OKKO, maybe Clarence.
I'm still
We Bear
pushing
Bears.
Unikitty. I'm still pushing Unikitty.
We Bear Bears. I haven't seen Unikitty yet, so I'm only giving my opinion.
Will. You will eventually.
We Bear Bears, which is still in development hell. And like, if Craig of the Creek gets picked up, maybe that'll be good. But I wouldn't hold my breath because.
What do you mean if it does get picked up? There was already a pilot.
Yeah, no, a pilot doesn't mean that they're gonna get picked up.
Hey, it's good enough. Let me hope, dang it.
So yeah, and Meg said it her best a few days ago to me. There is no more cartoons.
Yeah.
There is no more cartoons that feel vastly different to whatever else is out there. You had action shows, you had comedy shows, you had shows with storylines in them. You had calm and peaceful shows. You had the hyperactive shows. You had all these different shows that were stylized to the fucking T. And whatever station you turned on, the big three, Disney, Nick, and Cartoon Network,
You found something
you
good.
found something
no matter
good
where
that
you
you
went.
watched. But today's, I don't even watch the shitcoms on fucking Nick or Disney, because they're just not worth it. If it ain't iCarly, if it ain't Victorious, and if it ain't Drake and Josh, I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it, because all the sitcoms on Nickelodeon and Disney Channel are the same now. Nobody does anything different. Drake and Josh, a story about two older brothers, their younger sister, and the wacky adventures that their life has. That was so
And it was
fucking
relatable.
funny.
It was down to earth.
It was down to earth, and it was so fucking funny. Victorious, a bunch of very musically talented people going to high school for musically talented people. It made sense. It was hilarious when it needed to be, but also could keep its tone. Ned's Declassified, same shit except how to survive it.
Hey, you wanna know what's the funny thing about Ned Declassified? Same creator of Johnny Test, boy.
Yeah, I know. That's just so weird.
It's like, boy, hello?
I feel like once Johnny Test went off the air, all of the hate for that show evaporated. Like,
Yeah.
as soon as Johnny Test went off the air, Teen Titans Go took over in terms of the newest hated show on Cartoon Network. Nickelodeon, iCarly. Fuck, that show was funny.
First 3 seasons of SpongeBob, I'll give it an A+.
No, first 5 seasons of SpongeBob plus the movie, masterpieces. There are a few duds here and there in those episodes.
Yeah,
But you had like Bubble Bowl, Gary Come Home, fucking Sandy, A Day at Sandy's. You had fucking all these fantastic episodes of SpongeBob that are so iconic and memorable. And then you had nothing from the new season. After the movie, SpongeBob really hit a hole, and that's my opinion upon it.
Anyway, Marsh, you got anything to share on this? Because I know you gotta have some feels about it.
What's your feels about it, Marsh? Being from a
Like
younger
it's like
generation,
old cartoons and stuff and whatnot.
Because me and
or
Chad,
whatever.
Me and Chad are
We're
pretty
old.
much.
We're
yeah,
dead.
I'm 20.
Already.
I'm 20. He's 23.
Pretty much.
So, how is it from an 18-year-old that grew up later in the 2000s?
I mean, I did see like a lot of the cartoons you guys did say, as well as most of the sitcoms. So like, I could say that like I was a cartoon freak when I was younger. I was the television nerd. I was that's the one thing I could touch up on. Like unlike video games, I can touch up on TV because that was my life when I was a kid. Toby, no, stop it. Sorry, my dog is eating a recliner.
Hello?
Stop.
Oh.
Don't judge her. She's
No,
special.
I'm not judging her. I'm cheering her on. Good job. Oh.
Gary Come Home was in season 5, by the way, Meg. It came out right after the movie did.
Wait, that's counted as a recent one? Like 4 to 6 seasons later? Now it's counted as a wait.
How does
when
that
did Gary
work?
Come Home come out? I'm double
You had season 1, 2, 3, and 4, movie 5, and that's when the cutoff point is. After 5, it was bad. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 are bad.
But in all honesty, I could say that a lot of the shows you guys are talking about, they did have like something where I just, like you said, Grant, you don't really see it that much anymore. Not that much. Like it really depends on like your taste though in general. But I don't watch the sitcoms either because, like you said, Grant, a lot of them just feel. I could go on Disney Channel and then see one thing, and then I could go on Nick, and then it's basically like, so you just grab all you did was just put little kids in something stupid, and that's it.
Like,
And
go
it's
ahead,
just
Marsh.
boring, and it's just predictable half the time of what's gonna happen. I could literally just somebody could show me like an episode of something new, some new sitcom out there on Disney Channel, and immediately my brain will be like, cue the laugh track. At a lot of moments, even when it's like uncalled for. Like I think I had that one day where my brother's at my brother's side of his family, when I went over to his grandmother's at the time, they had Disney Channel on, and I was so utterly bored because it was boring. It just felt it did not it did not make me laugh. It just made me just go, oh, okay.
I think the last sitcom that I genuinely had a laugh at was called like Charming Charlie or something like that. That was on
Oh, with the
Disney
little baby.
Channel with the little baby.
Good luck, Charlie. Good luck, Charlie.
Good luck, Charlie. Thank you. That one I actually had a chuckle at, and it wasn't because of anything that the show was doing. It was because the context behind something that was going on in the show.
Mm-hmm.
That was like, damn, that's like my life. But it was such a rare occurrence, cause like it's always the same in sitcoms, like you said, Marsh. It's always dad is stupid, mom is good looking and also the smartest one in the family and is way too good for the father. Also probably is the one making all the income. Older brother is stupid or a slob, and if it's an older sister, she's a prissy and a bitch.
Yep.
Middleish child is always the protagonist, and youngest child is either really fucking smart, if he's boy, or if it's girl, is like the most perfect little angel that also has a dark side.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
They just copy paste it on everyone, basically.
Now Gumball still has that in its essence, but at the same time, like Gumball takes it and turns it on its head. Where it was just like,
and then just when you think they flip it over from that, they flip it back.
Yeah.
It keeps flipping, it spiral.
Meg said it best, I think, when we were watching an episode of Gumball. It was like, this show is the only show on television that can go from 0 to 1,000, back to 100, back to 0 to 1,000, and still make it entertaining.
And one little aside here, Without You, I Can't Breathe hit me so hard.
Oof. Yeah.
Boy. Can we talk about musical production in that show, too?
God damn.
So I think we'll continue this for like a few more minutes. Anybody in the chat have something that they're like, nostalgic about that they don't see on TV anymore? It could be cartoons or like just the general idea around cartoons. And Marsh, you said it actually pretty good, where you were like, there's no similar theme. Like, I remember you would sit home on a Saturday evening or a Saturday morning. You turn on the television, and no matter what you turned on for the big three, it would be something that fit the Saturday afternoon or Saturday morning.
Basically.
Sonic X was on fucking Fox. Now, we can get into 4Kids maybe on a different episode of the Boss Cave.
Look,
but
here's the thing about that. There's one thing. Whatever, we'll get to it when we get to it. I'll save it.
The only good adult cartoons that I can remember are Futurama, early Simpsons, extremely early Family Guy, like season 1 and season 2, and that's it. And then like Super Jail is pretty fucking hilarious. Other than that, I can't think of any good like adult cartoons that's not anime. I don't know. What about you, Chad? Squidbillies. Squidbillies pretty good.
Like what, as far as Adult Swim stuff?
No, part of adult cartoons, like any adult cartoon.
Any adult cartoon?
Cause you were old enough.
Yeah, I know. Me, I was the one that I was a bit weird in my taste back for it, and so Yu Yu Hakusho was at the top of my list.
Yeah, I feel you.
But as far as Western stuff, things that actually made me genuinely, get a good laugh. It's just, I don't know. Everyone says this, and it's a horse beating death too. It's like early Family Guy, earlier Simpsons. I would love those. Like even as a kid, I could kind of understand some of the humor that was going on in it, and I was like, you know what? That's pretty good. How about I just don't repeat that in front of my parents so I don't get killed? How about that?
Some King of the Hill episodes are funny, but for overall, that show is kind of just boring.
I honestly appreciate like the dryness of the show.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just something about it.
It's got that pasty, bald dryness to it that makes it kind of funny. Bobby's the best character on that whole show, by the way.
Pasty, bald dryness is something I never want out of you ever again.
Am I correct about the show's tone, though?
I mean, you're right, but the term itself sounds so vile.
Oh,
I love it.
All right, so here's a question for you two. Boondocks and Black Dynamite. Anime or Western TV shows?
Yes.
Yes. I really can't answer that one.
Here, let me flip this on its head. Grant.
Yes.
WWE, soap opera or redneck anime?
Yes.
See?
There we go.
There's your answer.
Adult Swim always has the better adult-oriented shows. But, so anyways. Afro Samurai is really dope. Yeah.
That was my aesthetic, alright? Afro Samurai, that was...
Afro Samurai and Black Dynamite. Dynamite!
Dynamite!
Bum, bum, bum. That fucking intro, though? Do you remember the censor bar? That gag? The running censor bar gag? That was so funny. So Marsh, let's just give you a little bit of an insight upon that censor bar gag. So there's a joke that's been propagated throughout many pop culture history about saying black guys have a larger, and so in Black Dynamite, there was one rerunning gag that anytime Black Dynamite was naked, he had a censor bar that was basically down to the floor.
Pretty much.
And that was so fucking funny. Anything by Daniel Tosh or Seth MacFarlane in terms of adult cartoons are just bad.
Yeah.
Brickleberry. Big Mouth.
What's the Brickleberry?
It's just a fucking...
I'm gonna look that up
so
and not
fucking
say
dumb.
anything about it.
Don't.
No, I'm looking it up right now. I need to know this.
You're gonna regret it.
Yeah, but I gotta feel the pain. I have to understand. That's the only way I can understand.
The guy with a bear, basically.
Family Guy with a bear. Yeah.
No, that's just the Cleveland show.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Good catch, Mary.
The Cleveland show just disappears from my memory from time to time.
No, it stays because I have to remember the pain and using the power of myself.
The only good thing about the Cleveland show is that the intro is catchy. My name is
Yeah.
Cleveland Brown, and this is my show.
You know what's the funny thing about that?
Yeah,
The tone of the intro is so wholesome.
it is.
It is. And then you get to the show, it's just like, oh, it's nothing.
My name is Cleveland Brown, and this... It's almost like a Motown. Like a Motown.
Yeah, you know what? Oh, so they did that purpose. Oh.
Also, he lives in Springfield, Virginia. And whenever I watch it, because I'm from Virginia, if you didn't know, I live kind of close to Springfield. Every time we
You
go to
look for yourself in the episodes.
every time we go to Springfield, I'm just looking around to see if anything is there. And like, I don't know where they are in Springfield, but that's
Grant,
not.
look at it like this.
That's
you're gonna
Springfield,
find a bear walking around in a shirt.
Springfield in real life is nothing like Springfield in that show, because Springfield in real life is a bunch of farms.
Yeah.
And like maybe one town.
Yeah.
Anyways, shall we get into a little bit of my
Oh, let's
Immortal?
get right into this news, right?
And then we'll do like 5 minutes of questions at the end. We'll have 20 minutes of
Okay.
this because we went on our topic for a little bit too long. Alright, so where were we? Chapter what?
Let me go
I
back
think-
and see.
I think that was I think we finished chapter 10.
I think
I
we
think
were
Yeah,
on...
we
Chapter
finished
11.
chapter 10.
We're at chapter 11.
We're on chapter 11.
Metal Band Goth.
So
Yeah,
as
we're on
always-
chapter 11.
So as always, are we gonna post? Let me post a link in the chat.
So as always, the roles will be Chad is our beautiful, wonderful announcer, our narrator with his perfect liquid gold voice. Marsh,
You mean piss yellow, but okay.
shut up when I'm trying to compliment you. Marsh,
No!
Marsh with her, Marsh, and me with,
Yeah, basically.
this lawnmower that I have in my voice box.
Oh, you grot.
Oh yeah, girl. Oh yeah, if you aren't familiar with the lore, Marsh is pretty
Drake
much
knows before he came on board.
Marsh is pretty much gonna shout all of her lines. I have to say all of my lines like an orc, and Chad has to give the iDubbbz voice every time there's an author's
Ab-
note.
Oh gosh, you made me remember. I forgot about it.
So
Oh no.
whenever you're ready,
It's a question, Bloach.
whenever you're ready, Chad,
Alright.
take us away.
Chapter 11.
Take us away.
Archie's newt. I said stop flaming your prips. Oh gosh, I'm a little bit of Shrek's coming out of me. That I
Stop
don't know
flaming your prips.
why. See if this chapter is stupid. 1111. It deals with really serious issues.
It is
What?
very serious issues.
No, this specific for
What the fuck?
yourself. Yeah, I don't know.
Beef.
Twilight,
for
ladies and gentlemen.
yourself. Oh, it's speak for yourself. I think.
Oh, speak. Yeah, speak for yourself.
Speaky.
Yeah, but I see that C, but I'm like, see for yourself. So what's the SP there for? I don't know.
Who knows?
For yourself, if it's stupid, thanks to my friend Raven for helping me. And again with the stupid chapter break. Somebody just Marsh.
Whew.
please.
And it's you're up, Marsh.
Alright, guys. Warning to you guys.
If you have headphones,
I'm
turn
sorry.
the stream down.
Yeah, turn it
Right
down right
now.
now. Alright. No! Okay.
I screamed. I was horrified. Horrified. My bad.
But Luddy.
Bloody Mary tried to come. I told her fuck off, and I ran into my room crying myself. No. Dumbledore chased after me, shouting, but he had to stop when I went into my room because he would look like a perv that way.
Oh god.
Boy, we're already.
Boy, oh boy. Continue, Chad.
Go, Chad, please. Chad. No, no. Did it kill
No.
Chad? Uh-oh. No, he's trolling us.
Come on.
He's gotta be trolling us. Chad. Don't
Yeah,
make me
I
do
think
this.
we
Don't make
yeah,
me
you
have to
might
do
have
this.
to.
Don't make me.
No.
Chad.
Me.
We can't.
Oh,
Okay,
okay,
there you
there's
go.
Chad. There's Chad. He's back.
My internet decided to say no to me, but okay. Anyway, I started crying tears of blood, and then I slit both my wrists.
Oh,
They got all over my clothes, so I took them off and jumped into the bath angrily while I put on a Linkin Park song in full volume. I grabbed a steak and almost... That's not the right steak.
That's not the right thing.
I grabbed a steak, a meat steak, and just almost stuck it into my heart to commit suicide.
To commit seppuku.
I was so... This is not Ready Player One. I was so
You're right, it's better.
depressed. Right? I got out of the bathtub and put on a black low-cut dress with lace all over. Wait! No, it's fine. A black low-cut dress with lace all over it. Sandly. I put on black
Sans
high heels
Undertale.
with pink metal.
Oh God! Stop,
Keep
Grant.
going.
You're gonna kill
Keep
me.
going.
I got out of gosh, I put on black high heels with pink metal stuff on the ends and 6 pairs of skull earrings.
God damn.
I couldn't fucking believe it. Then I looked out the window and screamed. Can you just offer me? Yeah, there we go, thanks. Snap was spying on me and he was taking a videotape of me. And Lou.
What?
Oh, this sentence makes me hurt. And Loopin, or is it supposed to be Lupin or Lupin? What's a
Lupin.
Lupin?
Lupin was masticating.
Was masticating to it. They were sitting on their broomsticks.
Uh-oh.
Ew, you fucking pervs! Stop looking at me naked! Are you pedos or what?
I screamed, putting on a black top. But she was clothed though. Wait! No, she said she got out of that, so we put on the. So why would she grab it? Okay, whatever. It's fine.
It's fine.
I screamed, putting on a black towel with a picture of Marilyn Manson on it. Suddenly, Vampire ran in.
Grant.
Good job. He yelled at Snape and Lupin's pointing his womb.
Oh, no, read the next line. Read the next.
I took my gun and shot Snape and Lupin a gazillion times, and they both started screaming and the camera broke. Suddenly, Dumbledore ran in. Are you okay? Boss, are you alive?
I revealed it somebody else.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
No.
Okay, good. He shouted, looking at Snape and Lupin, and then he waved his wand, and suddenly, Hagrid ran outside on his broom and said, "Everyone, we need to talk." Who's this talking?
Who is this? I'll do it. What are you? No wait, I think it's Dumbledore, so it's.
Isn't Snape like dead? So
Yeah, I think Snape is dead,
He
so
was shot gazillion times.
What do you know, Hagrid? That's what the little Hogwarts doing. I may be a Hogwarts student,
Hagrid paused angrily.
but I'm also a Satanist, mate.
Satanist here? Oh my God.
Oh,
This cannot be.
you're dead though. Snap said in a crisp voice as blood dripped from his hand, or Dumbledore's wand had shot him.
There must be other factors.
You don't have any!
I yelled in madly, or mandly.
What the fuck are they talking about anymore?
Lupin held up the camera, triumphantly. Okay, this is on purpose. You can't tell me it's not. Lupin held up the camera, triumphantly.
The lens might be ruined, but the name is still there.
I felt faint, more than I normally do, like how it feels to not drink enough blood.
Why are you doing this?
Lupin said angrily while he rubbed his dirty hands on his cloak.
Cool.
And then I heard the words that I had heard before, but not from him. I did not know whether to feel shocked and happy, or to bite him and drink his blood because I felt faint.
Because.
Hagrid said, and he paused in the air dramatically, waving his wand in the air. Then he swooped in, singing to the tune of a gothic version of a song by 50 Cent.
Because you're perfect.
Snap asked in a little afraid voice because he was afraid. friend. It meant he was connected with Satine.
Because Oliver.
I don't know how much more of this I can actually take.
How many chapters again? 24?
There's 22. We can get through this last one.
Oh,
We can get through this.
Grant?
We can get through this. No, oh gosh, number 12 was especially great. Let's do this.
Well, no, we can go for a little bit. Go ahead.
Author's note. Stop saying okay. Hard is a pedo to a lot of people in American schools are like that. I wanted to address the issue. How do you know Snap ain't a Christian plus Hagrid isn't really in love with Ebony? That was Cedric, okay? What?
What?
Huh?
Who hurt you?
What?
Okay, moving on. I was about to slit my wrists again when the silver knife that Draco had given me in case anything happened to him. When?
When?
He had told me to use it valiantly against an enemy, but I knew we must both go together.
No!
I thought it was Hagrid, but it was Vampire. He started to scream. And then his eyes rolled up. You could only see his red whites. I stopped.
Oh, it's me. How did you know?
I saw you in my sky and I could turn it to a lightning bolt.
No!
I ran up closer.
I thought you didn't have a sky anymore.
I shouted.
I believe Duvala changed it into pins again for me and so I covered it up with foundation.
He said back.
And this my sky hurt and I just tried to go back and vote for me and then I'll have a show.
Hello?
Hello?
Your turn, Chad.
Whatever.
That was my reading.
Anyway,
That was my reading of it.
You didn't want to read the
top
rest
quality
of it.
content reading there, boss. Anyway.
Hire
Anyway,
me.
I was in the
Hire
school
me.
nurse's office, now recovering from my slit wrists.
Oh,
Snapping
now you
Loopin
did a nurse.
and Hagrid were there too.
Harford.
They were going to St. Mango's after because they were pedophiles, and you can't have those fucking first teaching in a school with lots of hot girls. Dumbledore had constipated
I'm gonna start singing. I'm gonna start throat singing here in a minute.
had constipated the Cydio camera. They took him. I put up my middle finger at him. Anyway, Hagrid came into my hospital bed holding a bouquet of pink roses.
Nobby! I also wanted I some.
He said in a very serious voice, giving me the roses.
Back off!
I told him.
You know, I fucking hate the color pink anyway. I don't like fucked up preps like you.
I snapped. Hagrid had been mean to me before for being gothic.
No, Ebony.
Hagrid says.
Those are not roses.
What are they, gosh? Gosh, too, you poser prep?
I asked because I was angry that he had brought pink roses.
Fucking pink.
I saved you off.
He yelled angrily.
No, you didn't.
I replied.
Marsh.
Oh, I keep. Oh.
Yeah.
You saved me from getting a Paris Hilton P video made from your shower scene and being viewed by Snap and Loopin.
Who masturbated to it. Said he had a child with Lee. Oh no. Just go, please.
Wait a minute, I think that's my line.
Oh.
Oh.
Go ahead.
See, is that spelled wrong? He do it. He added silently.
Oh, is it me?
Yes, it's you. I yelled angrily. No, angrily. There we go. He pointed his wand at the roses. Boss.
What? I cannot keep up with this.
He pointed his wand at the roses. You're the one who wanted this. Do it. He suddenly looked at them with an evil look in his eye and muttered,
To be honestly, that's all you had to say.
That's not a spell. That's an MCR song.
I corrected him wisely.
I know, I'm just warming my vocal cords.
Then he screamed.
Oh fuck. Latin.
wanna use a
Petulus merengor mi kirimski romancior.
Oh.
For all you cool Gothic MCR fans out there, there is a tribute, especially for Raven. I love you, girl.
Imo notu akeo.
RKO. Anyway,
I'd rather take an RKO than read this.
Dude, same. And then the roses turned into a huge black flame floating in the middle of the air, and it was black. Now I knew he was a threat.
Marsh.
Okay, I believe you now. What the fuck is Draco?
Harrogrid rolled his eyes. I looked into the balls of flame, but I could see nothing.
Oh fuck! What is this spelling? You see him, buddy. Oh, that's Dumbledore. Hang on.
Dumbledore said, watching the two of us watching the flame.
What?
To see what is
in the flame.
You reviewers, flame, get it?
You must find yourself first, okay?
I have found myself, okay? You mean old man?
Wait, that's Hagrid.
Harrogrid,
Oh, thank you. Oh, damn it.
You beat old man.
Harrogrid yelled. Dumbledore looked shocked. I guess he didn't have a headache, or else he would have said something back. Harrogrid stormed off back into his bed.
Oh my god.
Anyway, when I got better, I went upstairs and put on a black leather mini dress that was all ripped.
How many times has she changed her fucking outfit?
Don't worry about it.
Every second, Grant.
It's every day, bro.
Every second in her life, she changed into a new fucking outfit.
Hogwarts is my city. There was some corset stuff on the front. Then I put on black fishnets and black high-heeled boots with pictures of Billy Joe Armstrong.
Don't bring him into this. You do not bring him into this.
I put my hair all out around me, so I looked like.
What? Samara?
Like Samara from Ring. If you don't know who she is, you're a so fuck off. And I put on blood red lipstick, black eyeliner, and black lip. Look, it's 9 p.m. Can we like not?
Come on, keep going.
All
Keep
right.
going.
No, we can end this with
This is actually the worst
all right,
part
let's
of our
just
podcast.
let's just say that this is the last thing that they say. You look kawaii, girl. And then we'll pick it up, next week, boys. And then never
Oh
again.
gosh, I looked at the end of the chapter. We got to. Oh Lord, we got to.
So we'll pick this up next week on Fanfic Fridays. If you got a fucking fanfic you want to submit, fuck yourself.
We dropped down to 3 viewers because we did that.
It was never.
No, I think we need to cut this out. This is becoming a problem.
I said we had to finish it.
We're finishing it on our own time, dang.
All right, boys.
I want to do this together, you assholes.
I have
Okay,
been.
fine.
I have been the boss. Who are you people?
I don't know anymore.
All I want is my dollar and to finish this with you losers. That's who I am, asshole.
Remember, if you eat too much fiber, you'll shit a lot. We'll see you guys on Monday. Bye, everybody.
Yeah.